I'm Adam.
And I'm Duke.
And this is Where There's a Williams, There's a Way. Hey, Duke, you're a grandpa, right?
You bet.
What's that like?
You know, grandpas are a bit like those old oak trees out yonder. They've weathered the storms and seen so many seasons come and go.
They're like living history books full of stories and experiences.
Just like that time I wrangled that ornery bull with nothing but a lasso and a whole lot of grit.
In today's book, a little girl loves spending time with her grandpa, and then is sad when he's not around anymore. Let's get started. Grandpa's Stories by Joseph Coelho, illustrated by Allison Colpoys. It's spring. I take long walks with my grandpa. I hold his giant hand. He says, "You're too old to hold hands." We explore, hand in hand, the budding springtime. If all the world were springtime, I would replant my grandpa's birthdays so that he would never get old. It's summer. Grandpa buys me a racing track. It's secondhand with missing bits. We fix what we can together. We use our hands to zoom the cars up and down, up, up, and fire them off into deep space. If all the world were deep space, I'd orbit my grandpa like the moon, and our lives would be shooting stars.
That's the thing about grandpas. They live through times that we can't even imagine. They've seen the world change in ways they probably never expected. And they've got wisdom, Adam, the kind that only comes from a life well lived.
I don't have very many memories of either of my grandpas.
Oh, no?
Well, one died when my dad was 4 years old, so neither one of us have memories of him. The other passed away when I was 12 years old, so I just don't remember much about him.
You know, Adam, being a grandpa is a special kind of honor. It means you've passed on something valuable, something more than just possessions. You've passed on your stories, your lessons, and your love.
I've still got a long while yet before I become a grandpa myself.
You'll love it when you do.
It's autumn. My grandpa makes me a notebook with handmade paper of brown and orange leaves that rustle when I turn the page, bound with ruby Indian leather string. Grandpa gives me a rainbow pencil. Write and draw all your dreams. If all the world were dreams, I would mix my bright grandpa feelings and paint them over sad places. It's winter. My grandpa tells me tales from when he was a boy, of Indian sweets and homemade toys. There are ships, snakes, and tigers in his stories. If all the world were stories, I could make my grandpa better just by listening to every tale he has to tell. But some tales are silent. I help Mom and Dad clean out Grandpa's room. I find dried blue flowers between book pages, a yellow toy racing car glued to a piece of track, a length of ruby Indian leather string, a ball, silver foil from every sweet he ever ate, and an open pack of rainbow pencils. When I was a kid, one of my chores was washing the dishes. We didn't have a dishwasher at that point, and I hated doing the chore.
What does that have to do with your grandpa?
Well, one day my sister told me that my grandpa was getting us an electric dishwasher.
Oh, yeah? That was awfully nice of him.
Yeah, it turns out it was just awful. He gave me a washcloth with an electrical outlet attached to it.
Heh, that's funny.
Yeah, he was always a big fan of puns.
It sounds like that was a punishing joke.
A kaleidoscope of memories. If all the world were memories, the past would be rooms I could visit, and in each room would be my grandpa. On Grandpa's chair is a new notebook, newly made with string petal paper, newly bound with a length of Indian leather string. My name is written on the front. It's new and empty, and it was made by my grandpa. So I write and draw and write and draw and write all my grandpa memories inside. I write and draw lots of different worlds, and all of them have my grandpa, smiling and laughing, laughing, laughing. He says, "You're too old to hold hands." But still, I hold his giant hand and we explore, hand in hand. My grandpa was a man of few words, but each one carried a world of experience. He'd tell me stories about his own adventures as a young man, taught me how to read the land, how to track a herd, and how to face life head on. Sounds like he was a real mentor to you. Mentor, friend, and a dang good cook, too. He could whip up a meal over a campfire that'd make your taste buds dance. But you know what I miss most is just sitting here like we are, talking about anything and everything. It's like he had a way of making the world feel smaller, more manageable. I try to carry on the tradition of storytelling with my students. I want to create memories for them, just like your grandpa did for you. That's a fine thing you're doing. Passing down those stories, those connections, it's what keeps the spirit of our grandpas alive. If you've appreciated the stories from this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm Adam.
And I'm Duke.
And this is Where There's a Williams, There's a Way. Did you know seniors make 45% of the nation's cash contributions to nonprofits?